for Music Monday, got to tell you guys about my weekend, because this has been it's been a hell of a weekend for me music wise. I saw a lot of artists, like a lot of artists. So first of all, earlier in the week I saw TV on the Radio and Grizzly Bear, which TV on the Radio put on a hell of a show. I was so stoked to see them live. Grizzly Bear I liked. Not as much as TV on the Radio. I kind of prefer TV on the Radio. I appreciate Grizzly Bear. I like their music. I got a little, I don't want to say bored with the show because they put on a great show, but you know, I didn't like it as much as TV on the Radio. But they were still great, and I'm glad I got to catch them. So, and then this weekend, my weekend started on Friday. I got to see David Rovix. You saw me, you heard me talk about that show. David Rovix, amazing protest folk artist. He's an anarchist, and he did 2 sets, and he has this theme now where he's kind of talking about different protesters throughout history. So all of his set kind of revolved around that. He talked about different labor movements. He talked about the dude that burned down the White House. He talked about different activists all around the world. He talked about police brutality in different parts of the world. He talked about Yemen. It was a pretty heavy show, but it had its light, funny moments too. You know, like most kind of protest folk artists have. You know, they have their element of humor too. David Rovix is no different. He has his humor side. And it was really, I learned a lot. Like, I learned more in that 2-hour show than I was taught in 12 years of history classes. like I really did. Some of the people that produced the show, they said it'd be amazing if we could somehow get this guy into schools. I agree, it would be amazing to get him into schools, but I have a feeling you're not going to find many schools that are willing to let that happen. I hope I'm proved wrong, or I'm proven wrong. So anyway, that was a fantastic show. And then Saturday, this happened to me. I was jewelry shopping with my girlfriend, and I decided to pick up a local paper, because I don't pick up my local paper all the time. I live in Pasadena, California. I don't always pick up the local paper. But we were in this antique shop that we stopped into on our way back to our apartment, and I picked it up, and I was like, I should pick this up because with my municipal broadband project, I should really know what's going on locally, like as far as who is writing in our local media. So I picked up the paper to try to get some contacts, and I open it up, and on the first page, I see that there's an all-day show going on, and one of the bands that are playing are The Regrets. The Regrets are a great garage punk band based in Los Angeles, and they are incredibly young. They are still in their teens, and they're fantastic. They remind me, you know, they kind of got like Adonis thing going, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, very bubblegum punk, kind of takes you back to that era, and they're doing it really well. And they're singing from a place of honesty. They're very talented, and they definitely have a bright future ahead of them if they stick with it. And they're signed to Warner Brothers, I believe. So they're probably gonna be very famous. They're already on their way up. And they were doing a free show in my neighborhood. And I looked at the date, and I saw that the date was that day. And so I went to the website on my phone because it didn't specify the times. I saw that the Regrets were playing at 3 p.m. I saw that it was like 1:30 p.m. So I said to my girlfriend, we were on foot, we didn't drive. I was like, let's go back to the apartment. Let's, you know, change clothes or whatever. And let's get some water bottles going and some snacks because we're still on the Whole30 diet. So even though it was a food festival, I knew we couldn't get anything there. So we did that, and then we went and we caught the Regrets. It was a very pleasant surprise for a Saturday afternoon, and they did a great job. It was a really fun show. And I tweeted this, maybe some of you saw it, but there was this dude there in an NPR t-shirt, and I saw that, and I was like, you know what? I feel like this sums up Pasadena perfectly. I'm at a punk show and there's a dude in an NPR t-shirt. And I'm not trying to, like, make fun of that dude too bad. Like I'm not trying to, like, you know, put him down or whatever. I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's wearing that shirt from the right place. Like, I'm sure he's not wearing that shirt to be like, the Koch brothers are great. But what I'm saying is, I feel like that really sums up my neighborhood. Meaning, you can find subculture there, but you kind of got to look for it. And some people sort of like it with a spoonful of corporate approval. You know, that's just, I think that kind of sums it. And I love my neighborhood, don't get me wrong. But I think that was just quite the metaphor. So, saw them on Saturday. And then on Sunday, my girlfriend got tickets to what was the 100th anniversary of the LA Philharmonic at the Hollywood Bowl. So who all was on that show? Well, the LA Philharmonic was there. They played. They're an amazing, amazing orchestra. One of the best in the world. Herbie Hancock was there. Katy Perry was there. And, I forget. There was this other singer there. She was so good. And I feel I sheepishly keep forgetting her name, which I apologize for, because I really should know her name. So I'm going to have to scroll down my Twitter line here and find her name. Kelly Uchis. And here's the best part. The surprise was John Williams. John Williams was the surprise. It was really cool. He came out and they did the Star Wars theme. He wasn't on the bill, and they came back out after Katy Perry had gone on, and they were like, you know what? This is such a big anniversary. We feel like we need a little more. What do you guys think? And the audience cheers. And they were like, John Williams. And everyone was like, whoa! And he played the Star Wars theme. And then I was like, now I want to go watch Star Wars. That's what I want to do. So while I was there, now, at the beginning of the event, speaking of people that kind of like their subculture served with a dose of corporate approval, my girlfriend and I were sitting there, and you know, you could tell there was kind of a lot of the limousine liberals around us, and you know, whatever, that's fine. That's an event like that. What do you expect? But they played the Star Spangled Banner at the beginning of the event, which, I'm not for. I'm not a fan. I don't know why that needs to be at the beginning of a concert. Furthermore, did you ever notice in all of the songs that we celebrate for patriotism in America, we have to exclude some of the verses? Did you ever notice that? Like the Star Spangled Banner, they excluded that last verse. The one celebrating slavery, they exclude that one. On This Land Is Your Land, the one that actually calls out the demonization of the poor, they exclude that verse. They don't include that one. The verses that actually pointed out that it is a protest song, it is an angry anthem, it is protesting the oppression that goes on in this country, they exclude that verse. So in one case, they exclude it, they exclude a good verse, and in the other case, the case of the Star Spangled Banner, they exclude a bad verse. But it's kind of interesting how we have this filtered patriotism when it comes to music. And I can't help but notice that. So anyway, they play the Star Spangled Banner, and all these people are singing along at the top of their lungs. And I turn to my girlfriend and I go, I can't stand any of these people. I cannot stand any of these people. These people, they just want everybody to know, hey, I was in choir in high school. I did choir in high school, and that was when I peaked. I never went anywhere further with my music because I'm not a creative person, but I am technically trained. So here I go. I want the world to know. Listen to me sing. I just kind of found it worth poking fun at. She kept telling me to shut up. She was like, shut up. I was like, come on. She was like, shut up. I was like, come on. They can't hear me. And even if they can, I would just I'd be like, look, I don't even think this should be happening at an event like this. I don't like this song. They exclude parts of this song because it celebrates war and slavery. So I don't know why you find the need to belt it out at the top of your lungs. You look like a well-read individual. You should know better. And, you're kind of pining for attention like a teenager. And, whatever. If you overheard me criticizing you for it, so be it. Criticize me for something. I don't care. But anyway, And then she got me back because we were on the car ride home. We were listening to some Operation Ivy Pandora, one of my favorite Pandora stations, and the song Ruby Soho by Rancid came on, and I love that song, and I was singing along. I was rocking out, I was singing along, and my girlfriend goes, "Ugh, we get it. You were in a punk band in high school." And I said, "Touche, you got me. I'm a hypocrite just like everybody else." And yeah, thank you for recognizing that I was in a punk band in high school. I do feel a little better now. So it was a hell of a weekend. Some of you guys were asking details on Herbie Hancock. Herbie tore it up, dude. Herbie, he played with the LA Phil. All these artists, including Katy Perry, they played with the LA Phil. So, the LA Phil did some Katy Perry tunes. And Herbie Hancock, for his second number, because each artist just did like 2 to 3 songs, he grabbed something off of his deck of keyboards, and it turns out it was a Keytar. Herbie Hancock rocked a frickin' Keytar, and he wailed on it, man. And and that's again, not trying to criticize the folks around me, but as soon as Herbie Hancock picked up the Keytar, I started cheering, and only a couple other people did. And it's like, how can you not cheer when Herbie Hancock picks up a Keytar? That's like that should be required by law. You got to start cheering. It should be. They were just sitting there like, I wonder what will happen next. Like, dude, it's Herbie Hancock. He's got a Keytar. Show him some love. He's been doing it for 50 years. Anyway, it was a fun event. And, me poking fun, it's all in good fun. I'm not trying to be overly critical. It's all in good fun. And again, I was in a punk band in high school. Please recognize it. These people were in their choirs in high school. Please recognize it. Let them sing along. Now, I think it's better to sing along with a Rancid song than the Star Spangled Banner. That's my take on the world. But, everybody's different. So, let's see what you guys are saying. Did anyone else go to some really cool shows this weekend? I got to say, it was pretty... Natural Progressive, what is a Keytar? So a Keytar is... it's a keyboard, but it's like a guitar. So there's a strap, but instead of like guitar strings, there's keys. And you play it like you would play a guitar. And then there's usually some effects things at the top, like instead of like a neck. So that's what a Keytar is. So it's like a keyboard that you hold and play like a guitar. Platypus, thank you very much for the Super Chat contribution. Much love, everyone. I was trying to think of something to make the most of my 150 characters. So I'm working on my 6th YouTube video. Congratulations, Platypus. I'm thrilled to hear that. Check out Platypus over on the YouTube. And yeah, I hope I can do your show sometime. I know we tried to do it, and the Australian internet was not kind to us. I hope we can reschedule that. B.S. Jeffrey watched Quincy yesterday. Jilly Love points out it's just another manic Monday. Jameson Dwayne, Destination, oh no, Ruby Soho. Let's harmonize. Ruby Soho. Now I'm going to get a copyright strike. Schultze agrees about the Star Spangled Banner. I'm with you. Yeah, it's interesting. And then Chromatic Treat also points out this land is our land is another great example of music censorship. In school, they never taught us the verse that rejects private property. Damn right. Yeah, we sang that song at my kindergarten graduation. We did not sing that verse. That's why I don't know if I'll ever have children. Because I feel like if I ever did, and they were in like kindergarten or whatever, and they were going to sing that at their graduation, I would teach them that last verse and instruct them to sing it. And they'd be like, "Are you sure?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, freaking do it." And then I'll be there with my camera phone. Then they'll do it, and everyone will be like, there's something wrong with this kid. And I'll be like, "No, there isn't." They'll thank me someday. And they might not, They might not. Wow, Dark Flashes, you saw Andrew Bird with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. That's awesome. And please say hi to Indiana for me. It's a place near and dear to my heart. I went to Indiana University. Edwin, what was your punk band's name, Ron? We were called Open Till 2. And we got our name because, where I grew up, we did not have any skate parks. That was not something that would have been okay in my small suburban, culture-deprived Italian-American Catholic neighborhood. I'm pretty sure dreaming was just legalized there in 2013. I'm pretty sure you're allowed to have dreams now if you live there, but that was just legalized in 2013. So we didn't have any skate parks, is my point. And so we would have to just skateboard in places where we weren't allowed to skateboard, and we would just have to wait until they kicked us out. One of the places we loved to skateboard, this was me and my band, was a Taco Bell parking lot. So we would skateboard at the Taco Bell parking lot until people kicked us out. And they would have this big sign that said open till 2. So we called our band Open Till 2. Oh, Steven, you saw Dropkick with Flogging Molly. That's pretty cool. I've seen Dropkick. I have seen both. I did see Flogging Molly once. It was at a Warped Tour, so it was kind of like all at once. But Dropkick I've seen once or twice too. Chris Wynn, Indiana represent. We hate Pence more than anyone in the country. Even Republicans wanted him out. Jordan points out, I want to get my future kids expelled. And everybody is celebrating the Keytars. They were big in the 80s. They are not as big as they used to be. But they're still worth celebrating in my humble opinion.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? Getting our news on today.